Welcome to WST, your home for West Coast sports. I'm Big Ben, and this is K-Win. All right, I prepared for this. Let me make some phone calls. We'll start with Jen. This is odd. Kyle's usually very punctual.
Hello?
Hey, Jen. Have you seen Kyle after your noon pedicure that you guys have on Fridays?
Ben?
Yes.
Did you lose Kyle?
Why
are you calling from his phone?
I've lost Kyle, obviously. I found his phone on the side of the street. I can't locate him, though. Hey, real quick.
Did you check Tower 12?
At T12, yes. Do you know how to do Amber Alerts? Could you cue one of those up?
Yes.
Okay.
Wait, what's going on? Did you seriously lose him?
Yes, I did. Think back to an ex-girlfriend. Think about what kind of car she has and start an Amber Alert. I got to make some other phone calls.
Oh, God. Okay, please find him by Tuesday. We have a flight to catch.
Ooh, okay. Thank you. All right, next step. Beverly Wynn, Kyle's mom, Facebook. First things first, add as friend, yes. Poke her, yes. From here, Bev, are you with Kyle drinking vodka soak olives? Yes, call me if you can. It's an emergency. Okay. Next, who else knows Kyle? Let's get to Randy. Randy, easiest way to locate him. He is semi-retired. He's probably golfing. Let's go to our Gin app. Gin app tells me where he played last, and I know he loves Mastros. So Pelican Hill, Mastros Ocean Club. Let's give them a call. Exhausting all potential leads in this CSI, Kyle.
Good evening. Thank you for calling Masters Ocean Club in Newport Beach. This is Shay. How may I assist you?
Hey, Shay, I'm looking for a patron that frequents Mastros. His name is Randy Wynn. Is he there by chance?
This evening?
Yes.
I don't know if I have a Randy Wynn. Let me see if I don't have a Randy Wynn tonight. I mean, he could be here with a different reservation.
Generally,
I don't have a Randy Wynn reservation tonight.
You do not? Okay. Dang. We're trying to locate his brother. He's lost. So if you do see him come in, let him know that we're trying to locate his brother. Could you do that?
I don't know how I would know if it was him, sir, because I don't have him under a reservation. I mean, he could very well be here with somebody else, but
Okay.
I don't have anyone under that name. I wouldn't know kind of where to start with that.
Right. Okay. Well, he's a tall, light-skinned individual. He used to play baseball. So maybe make him show you his swing, and then you can judge from there.
I'm sorry, one more time? I could what?
Maybe just show the baseball swing, and you can go from there and judge if he's an actual baseball player.
Okay.
All right. Sounds good. I'll talk to you soon. That lead didn't work. All right. Wait, Jen did say something. Maybe he's already in London. Buckingham Palace needs a Chargers fan.
Let's go Bolts!
Good to have you.
Yeah,
Thought I lost you.
did for a little bit. Heading to London.
Your hat's...
It's sweaty, right?
No, it's just pretty bad in comparison to probably the real one.
Let's go.
Welcome.
Wow.
Good to be back.
Good to see you, man.
Good to see you.
Yeah.
Go Bolts. Your mom, actually, she just got back to me.
What'd she say?
She says she hasn't seen you either, but that she hopes your pedicure went well.
The toes look great. You'll see them later on Kyle's court when I dunk all over you.
Ooh, wow. Okay, let's get into it.
Let's kick this off for real.
You're on your national tour.
Welcome.
Volume 2.
To WST, your London source for sports. Manchester United, cricket, and David Beckham hairstyle updates.
Bend it. Bend
I'm
it
your
like
host,
Beckham.
Mick Jagger. This is Keith Richards.
Slapping the bass. Slapping the bass. No?
Yeah, you look good.
I'm not doing that genre, but
Should we tell the folks why I'm all
why are you
dressed
dressed
up?
in that garb? Tell them all.
World Tour, #2. We're big international.
Where are you going?
Poland, London, Madrid.
Did you know Ditka's from Poland?
Not Mike Ditka?
Ditka.
The Bears.
The Bears. Ditka.
I'm sweating. I got to get out of this.
Answer me one thing.
Yeah, nice hoodie.
Thank you. Could you look into the cost of Polish dogs relative to the U.S. versus Poland? So think about it this way: a standard hot dog is like $4 at a baseball stadium.
Okay.
Polish dogs are like $6. Why the uplift? Are they better? And then when you're in Poland, is the Polish dog $4 and the American hot dog $6?
Is the reverse true? I can check it out. I'll let you know.
That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
Report back.
I will report back.
All right, you're going to Spain?
Yeah, Madrid and Barcelona.
Madrid and Barcelona. I've been to both.
Okay.
Do you think I could pass as like a soul brother?
Well, we'll see your court moods later.
Look at this hair. A little scruff.
How's your Spanish?
Más o menos.
Okay.
Hola.
How are your post moves?
Me llamo Paul. I can do a little back down shimmy. Paul doesn't have many.
It's Pau.
Pow.
Yeah.
And Mark Gasol. World champ.
World champs.
I mean, I bet you in Spain. So when I went to Spain, they were very much. They loved the idea that Mark and Paul came out of Spain, and they would follow them as if they were their own because they came out of Spain, and I think they're the most highly regarded athletes within the U.S. that have come out of Spain.
Were Luka Doncic.
Is that a Spain? No, he's not.
He played for Real Madrid. They claim him. That's the same club team.
The basketball team.
Yeah.
Wait, there's a Real Madrid basketball team? No.
And soccer team.
Really?
Yeah, I looked it up when I was buying tickets for.
I can't trust you
football
in
game.
that Chargers hat.
You know what? We need a little cheers for the London trip.
Ooh.
Coming up next week. Little pint. Whoa.
Ooh.
Uh-oh. Well, sorry.
We'll be right back.
We'll be... Did you shake this up while I was... We got to clean up on aisle 9. No, but London...
Cheers. It's proper cheers.
I don't know if I'm still overflowing.
You gotta wait before you go. You have to look the person in the eye when you cheers them.
Cheers.
Cheers. Danke. Welcome.
So baseball's back in London. They
Baseball
signed
is.
a 4-year deal, or 2-year deal, 4 games.
Who?
The Red Sox and Yankees played last year
In London.
in London at London Stadium.
Why do you think London gets so much? Is there? I'd be interested if you went with what jersey or why there's so much propensity or
David Beckham jersey.
no pent up like American sports. Is that the mecca of we want an American sports team?
I think there's just a lot of people from America that live in London.
That makes sense. Okay.
But here's the winning bet. Bet the over. Red Sox, Yankees, it was like 18-15.
In London.
Yes. Cracker Jack box, small stadium, ball flies out.
Wait, this is the
Lock
first
bet.
This is the first time I've ever heard you give betting advice.
Lock bet. Next June 21st to the 22nd, Cubs versus the Cards, take the over. I could hit a home run there, and that's not saying much.
All right,
Let's get into the show.
let's get in the show. This is the part of the show that we love. This is DMs. Slide in the DMs. My first one,
Whoa. DMs, that's fan mail. That's
Fan
how
mail,
our
yeah,
fans
that's
communicate with us.
I mean, normally it's text. We're getting old, let's be honest.
Yeah.
No one slides into the DMs and texts us something, or messages us something. It's normally over text, but
But you want to hear from our fans? We want to hear from our fans.
I do.
Please DM us.
Okay.
You want to go first?
I do.
You want to read the first one?
this first one comes from T Money in West Seattle. His question is, and I feel like this should be like ding, like a DM.
Like
is that what you get?
It's AOL. You got
You got mail.
No one uses that anymore.
All right. What are the chances Garrett Cole or Steven Strasburg decide to return home and sign with the SoCal team?
That's a good question.
Do you have an answer? Do you want me to get into mine?
They're both West Coast boys,
Both West Coast
both
boys.
Southern California boys. I think there's a good chance.
I absolutely do as well. So if you look at this, abstract this as, all right, Cole went to UCLA.
Yeah.
The direct translation is the Dodgers.
Yes.
Strasburg went to San Diego State, hoped to get in Stanford. The direct translation is?
Padres.
Okay. Let me tell you why it might alter a little bit. And it's only altering with Garrett Cole. So Garrett Cole came out, was drafted by the Yankees.
Out of high school.
Out of high school, he said, no, I'm going to go to UCLA. Became an acclaimed pitcher. He played at Orange Lutheran High School in Orange County. What does that scream? Anaheim. He's got the Mickey Mouse ears on. Mike Trout's recruiting him. And here's what I think happens. Garrett Cole has already said, see you to the Astros.
He said goodbye on Instagram and Twitter.
I'm gone. So here's what happens. Mike Trout says, come, we need pitchers. I'm the best player in baseball. You're from here. Your family's here. I'll give you a little cut of my salary to attract him, a la TB12. A lot like Tom Brady.
He's going to restructure his deal.
Restructure his deal. Come on over, Cole. We'll give you a big signing bonus. He doesn't want to go to the East Coast. We all know the Yankees are going to have the most money, but I don't think that's an attraction to him. The nice beaches and sunny skies of LA,
That's why I live here.
which is why we're here in Hermosa, are the main attraction to him.
Okay. I can see that happening.
Strasburg, coming off MVP of the World Series, lightly recruited out of high school, went to a small high school, Santee High School in San Diego County, went undrafted, but hoping to get into Stanford. Didn't have it up here.
Academically.
Academically.
Okay. Careful with that.
So what does he do? He goes to San Diego State and gets coached by?
Tony Gwynn,
From?
San Diego.
Ooh,
Padres.
connecting the dots here. So here's my thing. Similar to Trout, he wants to come home, and we got Machado with a big fat contract.
Yeah.
Does the same thing. Machado says, come on, we need a pitcher, we need an ace. He's a free agent. Come on over. Strasburg with the Pods. Then we got Garrett Cole with the Angels.
I can see that.
T-Money, there's your answer, my friend.
I like that.
Let's go.
Should we get to the next one?
Absolutely.
We got Drew from Arizona. He says, why does LA need 2 football teams when they can't support one? Wow. Shots fired.
Quick answer, no one goes to Chargers games. We've already seen that. About 80% of the fans that do show up at that games are for the opposing team.
Yes.
To be honest, LA didn't have a team up until 2 years ago, or was it 3? And then
Let's say 2.5.
and it's like the Chargers. I feel like are in that series where they move home from college, and they have to have a place to stay, so they go to their parents before they get a job.
Okay. So you're comparing the StubHub Center to
Exactly,
living at home.
to my parents' basement. It's that bad. Let's be honest. What's your take?
The StubHub Center, yes, it's like living at home with your parents. I think LA can support 2 teams. They support 2 NBA teams, 2 MLB teams. It's the second largest market in the U.S. The stadiums, it's just too hard to get to. You got to go all the way downtown to get to the Coliseum, or you got to go to San Pedro to get to the Chargers game and stay with Ben's parents to actually see a football game. But the problem is solved. There's a brand new stadium coming next year. It's geographically placed in Inglewood, where there's 20 million people within a small radius. It's easier to get to the stadium. The fans will come out and support a winner. LA's got a winner. LA's on the up. 2 teams. That's why we support 2
I'm going to give you an assignment.
Okay.
When you're in London,
Yeah.
report back. Wear this at least one day.
All right.
I want to see how many questions you get asked.
Okay.
Are the Chargers coming? You should say yes. I'm an international scout. I'm looking for players. You've taken down 7 pints of Guinness, and it looks like you bench press 280. You want to play on the team?
I'm actually Melvin Gordon. I just cut the dreads, so I could be incognito on this trip.
All right, number 2 from me. This comes from Bounds in Mount Si via Queen Anne. Let's take Urban Meyer out of the mix here.
Okay.
Who is the next coach of the USC Trojans football team?
No Urban.
No Irvin.
On our pod earlier this week, you said Herm Edwards.
I like the idea of Herm, but I did a little bit of research. So the new AD, Mike Bond, he's out of Cincinnati. You look at USC, and they're a mess. And when I say a mess, there's a lot going on behind the curtain.
If I pay enough, can my daughter go to college?
As long as she was an extra in Full House. Everyone can get on board. Dun, da, 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 da. Anyone can be a Trojan.
If you pay enough.
Exactly. Water polo bribes. $1.25 million. The head coach of the water polo team took home $1.25 million before the FBI or someone came in and investigated him. Water polo.
Really?
There's a lot of money at USC.
I chose the wrong sport.
Shout out to Dylan Neat. Racketeering charges in the women's soccer team. Basketball coaches are taking bribes, manila envelopes in their back of their car or whatever you want to say. If I'm Mike Bond, the next coach has to be squeaky clean.
Okay.
Background checks. He's sitting there going through, have you ever eaten anything that's non-dairy, type thing, with a lie detector test. You're judge, you as an AD, if I'm the AD,
Yeah.
you're judged by who you hire.
True. That's why Lynn Swan's gone.
Yes. Lynn, you hired the wrong people, my friend. All right. So what I will say,
Who are you going with?
the answer, James Franklin
From Penn State?
from Penn State. Why? First, he wears khakis.
Okay.
You can always, and Harbaugh might be you can always trust a guy in khakis. They're non-pleated. They look good. Flat front. And he's also been coached in similar situations at a private university like Vanderbilt. Now, maybe doesn't have the exposure that, say, USC does, but also has to deal with kind of the alumni base and that they're not public. They don't get a lot of funding. A lot of money has to come from the alumni. Third, you ultimately expand your recruiting base from day one. So Franklin's been at Vanderbilt. He's recruited to the South.
Yep.
He's been in the Northeast. And then you bring him west, and USC's name still holds a lot of weight. So for that reason, I think Franklin is your guy. You know why? Fourth reason?
Sure.
He looks a lot like you.
All right.
You may get some autograph requests at the
I
grocery
might be
store.
able to slip in there and be the head
Exactly.
coach.
Throw some khakis on.
We need to change those khakis.
James Franklin for Halloween.
Yeah. All right. Number 2 from Marty from the Bay Area.
Who's Marty?
2-part question.
Is that a made up name?
No, it's real. We only give their first names. We don't give out their identities.
Okay. That just says we don't have real fans.
We have real fans. How do you think the NBA will handle it when the Warriors sign and trade D'Angelo Russell for Giannis next summer? And how many titles do you see the new Warriors nucleus winning with Giannis? Wow. The NBA and the Twitter universe is going to go crazy.
Let's go back to what I mentioned earlier. Are there any roots? Does Giannis have any roots? I would have him going back and playing in Greece. Yeah, exactly. Before he plays in San Fran.
Him and Curry have the same agent. They're friends, and he wants to play for a winner. And he doesn't want to sit there and
Milwaukee and eat
eat
bratwurst.
cheese with Aaron Rodgers.
Cheese curds. Okay, I could see it.
It's happening. Marty, it's a three-peat. You put Clay, Steph, Giannis, Draymond, Jordan Poole, Pasquale, it's over. And the NBA
Wait,
can't stand it.
Pasquale?
Yeah. Villanova, rookie. He's taking the NBA by storm right now.
I don't know about that. but
Three-peat, starting next year, next summer.
What's their
three-peat.
record currently?
Well, it's not very good right now.
Pretty poor.
3 of their best players are hurt.
Here's my thing about the Warriors, and we talked about this a little bit. I think Steve Kerr, as a coach, is good.
Okay.
But I also think a lot of the talent that's been on that team has overcome some of his coaching shortcomings. So
We don't even know if he has shortcomings.
Well, I think we're seeing it now.
It's a little unfair. Your 3 best players are hurt. You could coach them. Phil Jackson, he had all-stars and Hall of Famers every time he stepped out there to coach.
Are the Golden State Warriors the Knicks of 5 years past?
No.
No? They're better than that?
Yeah.
I don't know about that one.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to McGee in Maple Valley. Question. This is in your jurisdiction.
Okay.
If LA doesn't turn the Clippers, or doesn't turn LA into a Clippers town, when or if they win the finals, does Ballmer move the team to Seattle?
Well, I think they're going to win this year, so they're staying, McGee. Next question.
Permanent residence. Here's my take. It's an interesting one, too, because you look at Ballmer, he pushed all his chips in. Yeah. He said, I'm going to make this team a winner. I'm going to make them relevant in this market, which is tough, especially when you look at the Lakers, who have 16 championship banners up at Staples Center.
And they have 2 Taylor Swift banners, most sold-out concerts. What up, T-Swift?
So if you look at the Staples Center like stack ranking, you got the Lakers, T-Swift, and the Clippers. So here's my thing. So he pushes all his chips and he says, okay, I'm going to play the game. Jeannie Buss looks at him and says, all right, I'll push all mine in. I'm going to go get Anthony Davis via LeBron.
Yeah.
Both are competing for mind share and also wallet share.
Yeah.
In LA. I mean, this town has, like you said, a ton of people in it. 20 million, what do you say, from Inglewood? The Clips are trying to build something. They're also being stopped by Dolan. Here's what I think happens. If after this year there isn't movement, one, on a new arena for the Clips, and they don't win the championship, I think that snowballs into Kawhi is eligible to leave.
Yeah.
He can opt out after next year. If he does that, I don't think PG's always been somewhat of a secondary player to most.
Whoa. PG. Last year he was almost MVP.
He was almost MVP, but I'll say he's always been
He was number 1 in the player in Indiana. I'm cutting holes through your story.
You are. But they also had Danny Granger. And here, where I'm going with this is, I don't think you're as attractive with just PG as you are with Kawhi and PG.
Correct.
If you get, and I even asked you today, how many of this town of LA, how many people are actually Lakers fans versus, and you said what?
I said 80%, probably.
80%. So trying to make that shift when you have those 16 banners already up, you got LeBron who's relevant, you got AD who's relevant. I mean, you don't spend $2 billion on something and expect.
Why is McGee trying to steal one of our teams?
No,
let's take OKC and move them to Seattle.
Easy.
Or Memphis.
Problem take solved. The Clips. How much have you spent on Clips gear?
A lot. A hat here.
So it's apparent to me that Ballmer wants to be visible, or he has been visible more than as recent in trying to make the Clippers a winner. Like I said, my theory: if Kawhi, they don't win the championship this year.
Yeah.
Kawhi goes to load balancing the entire next year and doesn't play. I could very easily see Ballmer bringing the team back to Seattle. The Key Arena has already been lifted. Things are happening.
I disagree. The reason why they got Kawhi and Paul George is because the team is in LA. They wouldn't have gone to Seattle.
But that's a lot of money. We can take them to Seattle. It's nice up there.
All right. I'm a free agent. You can sign me.
All right. What's your last DM?
Last question. It's a 3-person question. Another one from Arizona. We got a lot of fans in Arizona. Caden, Kaya, and Colin from Gilbert, Arizona. What is the future of the Phoenix Suns?
Bright. Dun dun.
Well, the Suns started off fast, 5-2 start. They beat the Sixers. They beat the Warriors, who are beaten down and horrible according to Big Ben. They also beat the Clippers. And with Devin Booker and Aiden, he's suspended, and your boy Aaron Baines, it's looking good.
So AB should be up. He's Aussie.
Aussie.
Oi, oi, oi.
Oi, oi, oi.
So he from WSU. He's the best Coug player now in the NBA.
Current. I was whoa.
Currently playing. I will say this. I've been distracted, right, by the Pac-12. But at this point, just statistically, Aaron Baines, I think, is plus 10 when he's on the court.
He's did well. The Celtics are going to miss him.
The Celtics may miss him down the stretch. Yeah. I mean, the guy, what does he do? Rebounds well.
Plays D.
He's intelligent. He doesn't foul, makes stupid fouls. AB for MVP.
Wow.
That's what I got. So back to the question, though. Suns' future is bright. Not to make a pun.
Yeah.
But I will say this. Ayton's been out.
Yeah.
Am I correct? Suspended.
And they're still winning.
When he comes back, I think between the Diamondbacks, the Cardinals, and the Suns, Arizona's looking for someone to ride. Yeah. And if the Suns can continue to win, I think that's going to impact a lot of what you see out of Booker, contracts in the future. I think he was the 9th fastest player to, I want to say, 20,000 points. Is that correct?
I think it was like 2,000.
2,000?
Yeah.
That doesn't seem right.
20,000 isn't either.
Somewhere in the middle. But regardless, I think the future for the Suns is bright.
I do too. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. They're playing well, but the West is too packed. I think they got to do a couple things this offseason. They did sign Rubio. I think they're going to end up in the lottery. They got to get a point guard. They've got Cole Anthony potentially from Carolina. They've got R.J. Hampton from New Zealand. And they might get your boy, the best player in the draft, LaMelo Ball.
Really?
So get a point guard, and then I think they got to sign a big man, a 4-man, Montrezl Harrell. He comes off the bench for the Clippers. They aren't going to be able to afford him. He's a free agent. You plug him in there with Booker and Ayton and Rubio and LaMelo Ball. The future is bright for the Phoenix Suns.
The future is bright. All right, I like it.
All right, so we switch on, move on to something else?
The West Coast swing?
Yeah.
I feel like we should do a little dance.
Well, should we talk what is the swing?
Do a little dance.
Whoa. Copyright. Shut down.
All right, West Coast swing. We're going to get into my jurisdiction, which is...
Well, let's describe what it is first.
It's we're going to take you around the West Coast, meaning we'll take you through my... I actually prepared quite a bit on Pac-12 hoops.
Okay.
Upcoming.
I hope it's better than Pac-12 football.
It's mildly better. I wouldn't say a lot better, but mildly better. So I have my jurisdiction, which is Oregon, Washington, and NorCal.
And I have Los Angeles, San Diego, Arizona.
I like it. All right, do you want me to start?
Go ahead.
All right, let's kick into Pac-12 hoops. First off, Cougs are 1-0.
Go Cougs.
Deserves a hat switch. Kyle Smith beat Seattle U last night pretty handedly. I will say this. It's going to be interesting for the Cougs, and this is probably the only mention they're going to get during basketball season during this because they are 1-0.
It might be their only win, too.
But LRB has a little bit of Harden in him.
Whoa. Stop it.
That's a direct quote from Wilner. That's not true.
I thought you were saying it was a direct quote from Harden.
No, let me cite my sources here. So as I break this down, John Wilner of the Mercury News gives us a preseason breakdown. He gave me a little of the content. I'm going to put my own twist on it, but I'm going to take you through the Pac-12 North predominantly, and it starts with the Oregon Ducks, who are the number one team going in, or coaches, media, number one team going to the Pac-12. Peyton Pritchard is this year's Aaron Kraft. Tell me who Aaron Kraft was.
Played at Ohio State, point guard.
Didn't he seem like he was on the team for like 7 years?
Yeah.
Peyton Pritchard's that same thread. He's a scrappy leader. Seems to have been there for like 8 years. Altman has led the Ducks to the only Final Four for any Pac-12 team over the last decade.
Yeah.
Decade.
And he lost 3 players last year to the draft, and he's still loaded.
Over that same time, there's been a Patriot League team, like 2 Missouri Valley teams, and then some oddball Loyola College team that have made the Final Four.
Did Santa Clara make it one year?
Potentially. I don't know. We'd have to look back. But we also have a UNLV transfer, Shakur Justine, that gives them a good chance to get back to Atlanta. Hot Atlanta in the Final Four. Getting into UW, so I put a call into McGarvey, who's been a season ticket holder now for about 5-6 years. His dad has tickets on the baseline. I didn't have the opportunity to connect with him, but I will say this. UW is probably the most intriguing team in the Pac-12 by a long shot. Yeah. And it's because of 2 freshmen, Isaiah Stewart, who's a Naismith Watch Award preseason, and then Jaden McDaniels, who is another all Pac-12 preseason. Jaden McDaniels from Federal Way. What Mike Hopkins has done with this program is make it cool to go to UW again. Yeah. I think there was a lot of players that looked at UW was like, I don't want to stay home, but Hopkins has a formula. He's brought in Stewart, who I believe was out of New York. So his recruiting span is that much more. He's able to appeal more people.
He's from the East Coast because he was assistant at Syracuse.
He was under Boeheim. And then the other guy you got is Quade Green, who's a 6-foot Kentucky transfer. And I say Kentucky transfer, it's going to be interesting because I see this team being a lot like Kentucky. You have a lot of athletes. You have a lot of guys with a lot of talent, but there's only one ball to go around, right? So I wouldn't be surprised if the Huskies get a 5 to 7 seed and make some noise in the tournament. The big thing, though, is can you humble yourself? What you don't want to see out of guys like Stewart and McDaniels is trying to make a resume for the NBA. Yeah. Both those guys have been said they're a top 10 pick.
It can't be about me. It's got to be about the team.
Exactly, and that's a lot of what Calipari. So if I'm Hopkins, I might give Calipari a call and say, "How do you do this? I got too much talent, and there's only so many shots to go around." So UW, very intriguing. As we break down the other teams, renewed energy around the program there at UW. I'll be at least 2 of the games.
With McGee?
With McGee, we'll play some bags out. We tailgated. We tailgate the basketball games.
That's amazing.
Actually, that much more fun. So the other 4 teams in my jurisdiction, the reason you're not going to hear a lot from them is they all rank 9, 10, 11 in the Pac-12 preseason rankings. I will give Trace Tinkle.
Best name ever.
Trace Tinkle. Coach's kid. He's been at Oregon State a long time. I see them overachieving. I don't see them ending up in number 9. I see them maybe a fringe NCAA pick.
Do they have a James Harden-like player on their team?
Segue. CJ Ellerby is a James Harden-like player. If you haven't seen him, he looks like Sideshow Bob a little bit for those people that watch The Simpsons, but he's very skilled, very good. I think the Cougs may surprise a few teams.
Okay.
Pretty thorough?
Very thorough.
Throw it to you.
Hand over me. No Bay Area love?
Let me mention Stanford's at number 10.
You want to talk about my Niners, 9-0, about to
Whoa,
beat down your Seahawks? Or just is that
No,
too close and personal?
I'm sticking to Pac-12 relevant stuff.
St. Mary's Gales ranked 20th.
Yeah, that's
Jordan
true.
Ford, 26.
Oh, wait. Let me stop here. I do have a little more on the West Coast.
You don't get the Bay Area gets no love?
Actually, they don't. What I do want to give some love to Mark Few. Remember when?
Remember when?
I went to basketball camp in Spokane 5 years, and I was only in high school, obviously 4.
You didn't redshirt a year?
I did not redshirt in high school. But I will say this, Mark Few was probably one of the most genuine individuals I've ever come across. He came up to me at one point when there was a player on our team that was getting recruited by Gonzaga, and he goes, "It looks like you have some interactions with this guy. How does he practice? Does he come every day to practice ready to play? Does he challenge you? Do you challenge him? And if you do," interesting fellow. He's been there since, I think I was a freshman in, I graduated 1998, so 1990, somewhere in there. He's been with the program that long.
Yeah.
What he does is he has a very clean program. You'll very rarely see anyone in the media, right, in Spokane. He recruits foreign players really well, and that's the theme again this year. So you got a guy, Corey Kispert, in this most recent game, and their game against South Alabama had 28 points, went 5 to 6 from deep. He's from Kings High School in Shoreline, not far from where I live. And then you have Philippe Petrouzouv.
From France.
Petrouzouv. Wrong.
From London.
Wrong.
From, I don't know, Serbia.
Ding, 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 ding.
Oh, yes!
Third time's a charm. So he had 15 points that first game against Alabama State. I think what happens with the Zags, St. Mary's, who you mentioned, very good team, but with the Zags, Killian Tilly, he's still suffering a little bit from a knee injury. He got scoped.
He's not all the way back.
If he comes back, what I could see happening is they develop their younger players, some of their transfers, some of their freshmen. If Killian comes back in full swing, you could see this team be a potential Elite Eight, Final Four. If Killian doesn't make it back, I think they flounder a little bit, and St. Mary's may take the WCC.
I like it. Great report.
If I had a gavel, I'd hit.
Should we move down south?
Absolutely.
We're going to come to L.A. Lakers, Clippers. Lakers, Clippers. The top teams in the NBA. Lakers are 6-1. LeBron's healthy. He's back. He's averaged 3 triple-doubles in the last 3 games.
Do you think it's his goal to average a triple-double this year?
It might be based on the way he's playing.
I mean, at this point, you're what, 35? Yeah, he's 35, so he's done everything there is to do, except average a triple-double during the course of a year.
Yeah, this might be the year.
Go on.
Kuzma's back. They've won 6 straight. But you know what? You know who the best team in the NBA is right now?
I thought you were going to put on the Pods hat.
It's Clippers.
Clip City.
I mean, they're 5-3.
The Seattle Clippers.
There's no Paul George, but they're still the best team in LA and the best team in the NBA.
That's it?
With their defense, Pat Beverly, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, 3 best perimeter defenders. They've got Montrezl Harrell, Sweet Lou coming off the bench. I've got the Clippers. They're more of a team. The Lakers are searching for identity. Obviously, they have AD and LeBron, but the Clippers are the best team in LA. I have them the best team in the NBA. My top 5 teams, in no order: Clippers, Sixers, Celtics, Bucks, and Lakers. Those are my top 5 teams.
No love for Utah, no love for Denver.
Not in the top 5 as of right now.
Okay. And what about Rip City?
No, not in my top 5.
Nurk, when are you coming back, Nurk? Come back, Nurk.
Before we leave LA, I'd like to congratulate Nick Cronin. He got his first win with the Bruins last night. They beat Long Beach State.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah,
That's impressive.
very impressive. Look out for Tiger Campbell and Cody Riley. Big thanks for the Bruins this year. On to baseball. And we're going to talk about Garrett Cole.
Are we?
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Garrett.
Free agent pitcher from the Astros, already said his goodbye.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to these stats. 20-5. He had 326 strikeouts last year. I thought that was a mistake.
326?
326.
How many innings?
He pitched over 200, I think like 220.
I think they said in the postseason he was averaging a strikeout and a half per inning.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
I know. He's
So?
a free agent.
See you in Anaheim, Garrett.
29 years of age, 97-mile-an-hour fastball, a workhorse. Went to college at UCLA. Like you said, a lot of people think maybe he's going to sign with the Dodgers.
I wouldn't put it past him.
Born in Newport, you think he's going to the Angels.
Well, here's why I say that is I think Trout, when you have anyone that's on a long-term contract, Trout almost becomes the coach, right? I think that Socha's gone.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's been churn in the coaching, so he becomes the face of the franchise. So it's all about how he can recruit players. He's already invested, and so, again, it's a very similar story to Kawhi. Like, why did Kawhi come back to L.A.? Because he has family here. You trace him back to here, and then so that's the reason I think it's Anaheim more than L.A. And
Do you know who his wife is?
I don't.
Amy Crawford. Do you know who Amy's brother is?
No.
Brandon Crawford from the San Francisco Giants.
Wow.
So does he sign with the Giants? No. He's going to San Diego. That's my first bold prediction.
Wow.
Garrett Cole is going to San Diego.
With Strasburg?
No Strasburg, just Cole.
Okay.
They've got Tatis, Hosmer,
Hosmer.
Chris Paddock. And my second bold prediction, the Padres are making the playoffs
Next year.
next year.
Next year.
And we're out of California. We're moving on to Arizona. And I have a question for you, Big Ben.
Yes.
The Cardinals coming in at 3-5-1. Kyler Murray is progressing well. He's got the potential to be a franchise quarterback. But if you had to go back in time, knowing what you do know right now, you have the number 1 draft pick. Do you take Murray or do you take Bosa?
For that fan base, I take Murray.
Okay.
I believe you look at the Cardinals, and Arizona's it's got the same implications as LA. It's nice. I don't need to go to the game. It's not as if we're in Minnesota and I want to go to a football game just because it's warm in the dome, right?
I need some heat.
Yeah, exactly. So I still take Murray, and I think he's going to develop. I think when you look at Mahomes' rookie year, he caught, he got 10 ace on every deal, right? I think he got the right time. No one had witnessed that. If Murray came before Mahomes, I think we would have seen the same thing.
Mahomes sat out a year too.
Right. So I believe Mahomes almost negated the value or how good Murray could be. So they've seen what Mahomes do, and it's very similar, maybe on a smaller scale, but Murray is going to be Mahomes-like, probably not on that scale, just due to height.
Okay.
That makes sense?
I would take Murray too. I just wanted to see what you'd say. But injuries have been the biggest problem to the Cardinals. David Johnson was hurt. Cameron Kirk was hurt. And then
Christian Kirk.
And then Chase Edmonds. So they had to pick up Kenyon Drake from the Dolphins.
And look what he did. John Madden, thanks for beating us with Kenyon Drake. Who knows you? He was on your bench all week, and he puts up 24 to beat me and Hodges. Come on.
But here's my second tip for bettors. Guaranteed win against the Bucs.
Guaranteed.
Guaranteed. And take the over on Jameis Winston interceptions. Even if it's 10, he'll go flying over.
You think Patrick Peterson's going to?
He's going to pick six them at least once.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll take that.
Before we leave Arizona, let's go to Tucson. U of A basketball.
Okay, Nico.
Sean Miller coached the first game in an orange jumpsuit.
No.
I'm
Is
kidding.
that 'cause
He is still the head coach at
what
U
did it
of
say,
A.
like BA 1217?
The allegations have just kind of disappeared, if you noticed that.
Yes.
But they're led by two five-star freshmen
Nico.
and then Josh Green. But they also have Zeke, freshman wingman, who was their leading scorer. They have a strong bench, Ira Miller, and they have Chase Jeter, five-star prospect.
Chase Jeter's still around?
From Vegas, went to Duke, and now he's back.
He's like the Peyton Pritchard. Him and Peyton are in the same realm.
He is.
Is that all you have for Zona?
No. I want a Texas two-step out to Texas.
No.
Luka,
Oh, wow.
tied with LeBron for triple doubles with 3. Mavs are 5 and 2.
This is your waiver. You're wavering.
Bold prediction: Luka will finish higher in MVP voting than Giannis this year.
I don't doubt that. But he's out of both of our jurisdictions. The fact you brought him up, you should get.
Mavs fan for life.
Someone
I was in
should-
Texas. I got to travel over Texas for work.
All
I
right.
got a lot of Mavs knowledge.
Let's get into bold predictions.
I just threw mine out. Padres to the playoffs. Garrett Cole to the
Okay,
Pods.
well then I get mine, huh?
All right, let's hear it.
All right. We will see 4 teams. Count them: 1, 2, 3, 4. Uno, dos, tres, cuatro for you in Spain.
Okay.
4 teams in the NCAA tournament for the Pac-12.
Are you going to call out the 4 now?
I am. So John Williams, I wish we had Wilner on. I'm going to get him back on. So Wilner would probably say that's a safe bet. The only stretch team that you could probably see come in within that, maybe Utah, Colorado, maybe ASU, someone sniff around that, maybe a play-in game.
Can I guess your 4 that you're going to pick?
Go ahead.
Arizona, Oregon, Washington. Oh, who's your 4th going to be? UCLA?
Yes.
All right.
Ding, 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 ding. So 2 of those teams, bold prediction, will make it to the Elite 8.
Okay.
There's a lot of talent in and around those 4 teams.
Yeah.
I mean, the unknown is with UCLA. I think, with a new coach, anytime
system.
that's a new system, but they needed it in Westwood. I mean, carrying the coach's kid around for 5 years and having him jack up threes wasn't a winning formula, let's be honest. But then UW has a ton of talent. And like I said, if you learn how to share the ball, you'll be fine. And then you look at Oregon, Peyton Pritchard, and some things around that, a steady guard, someone that understands how to distribute the ball that can score is a big thing. So 2 of those teams will make the Elite 8. 1 will make it to Atlanta.
Okay.
Bold
You're
prediction,
going to call it.
1 team, just 1, will make it to Atlanta for the Pac-12.
And who is it going to be?
I'm hedging my bet a little bit. One of those 4.
Okay.
All right, my second bold prediction, and it hurts to say this. Can we put on some music? Maybe a little violin? Dun, and I'm going to put on my hat for this. Because
What are the Cougs going to do?
this might
Are they going to win the Apple Cup?
This might upset some people. And it hurts me to say this. But Mike Leach will not be the head coach of the Cougs next year.
Wow. Where's he going?
So we flirted with Tennessee last year.
Yeah.
And if there wasn't a change in AD, I think it might have gone down. There's a lot of value. He's already getting mentioned about Florida State as a fringe guy.
What about Deion Sanders to Florida State?
I like that, actually. I would walk into every kid's living room going, "Bra, bra, bra, bra."
Would you high step in there?
I would. Sign with Florida State. So I think there's going to be too many openings for Mike Leach not to say no. And I say this why. What's the data behind my theory? WSU is the last in the Pac-12 in the way of giving and athletic donations. Yeah. He's done the most he can with the resources that he has available. There's only so much you can do. And I think he hit his peak. I think you see it this year. He took a guy, Anthony Gordon, that was a fifth-year senior, continued back up, and has extracted as much value out of him. He took a transfer from Eastern, Gabe Gubrud, who didn't turn out like he thought he would in leading the team as he thought he would. Leach has squeezed all of the proverbial toothpaste out of the tube in Pullman.
Okay.
Here are some locations in which I could see. One, if they flip their coach, after 1 year, Arkansas could be, if he makes himself available, I think there's a call that comes from that ID. Ole Miss, I think he's an SEC guy. He's been in the Big 12.
He's ready for it.
He's gone to the Pac-12. He translates to the South pretty well. Short-spoken guy, not too much. Here's the wild card. Lincoln Riley is getting a lot of interest from the NFL.
Yeah,
and he
turned it down last year.
He turned it down last year, and I don't think necessarily he's the type of guy that would spurn the NFL the second time they come calling, right? He's probably looking at going, okay, I've done all I can at this level. Oklahoma recently lost. They may not get in the college football playoff depending on how it plays out. He might say, okay, I've done what I can. The next time the NFL calls, if you don't take that call and take the job, you may be deemed as a college football head coach. So for that reason, Lincoln Riley will be the next coach of the Miami Dolphins.
Wow.
Mike Leach will be the next coach of your Oklahoma Sooners.
Pass first offense, he'd fit in nice.
Absolutely. Bold prediction.
Okay, I like it.
Done.
We're done. Should we get into some Kyle's Court here?
Let me stretch.
Okay.
Can I stretch?
I got to stretch out too.
Do you want to tell people what the Kyle's Court's all about?
Oh no! I'll clean that up later.
Jeez.
Good shot.
2 for 2.
Welcome to Kyle's Court.
Hey, Kyle.
Second edition.
Hold on, let me get my Kings hat on. We didn't mention the Kings.
Yeah, they got off to a slow start.
Good.
We're going to break down the former MVP, James Harden. He's got a new move.
Which is?
He's staying creative. He's staying on top of the game. Why don't you slide to the right? But you know his old move?
I'm taking away your left hand.
Well, he's got the...
Ooh.
Boom. And then if you play him to the left, he's got the other one. He can step back to both. But he hits that because he's MVP. But you want to see his new move?
Yes.
Shake. Shake him. You going to try guard me? The fadeaway.
You are horrible in Kyle's Court.
One more time.
Okay.
So he's trying to get separation to the right. He's getting separation to the left. He usually step back with both. But now he needs a little bit more. It's the fadeaway. Cash.
Buckets.
James Harden, MVP. New moves. You got to stay creative.
James Harden
He's got
wouldn't
the
wear
rock.
Jordans, would he?
He's got an Adidas contract, but that's all right. It was the moves I was talking about.
Okay.
The next player I want to talk about, Ja Morant, rookie from Memphis. Dynamic, explosive. Everyone saw him in college. He was driving, he was dunking. But they don't know about his passing ability. Right now he's averaging 20 points, about 5.3 assists. Playing with Brandon Clark from Gonzaga.
Do you want me to be Brandon?
Yeah.
Okay,
So he
okay.
gets in the lane. He's crossing people up. He's shaking them. He's shaking them. He's got like eyes in the back of his head. Ja Morant, Rookie of the Year. He can go left. He can go right. But you know what he does when he doesn't score? He helps his teammates out.
Thank you,
So
John.
when he's going left, he's using his left hand. But back to John with the finish. That's Kyle's court. We talked James Harden. We talked John Morant. We talked sports. Now we want to get into Ben's Bench, our new segment, our latest segment. We'll be back in 8 seconds. We're on.
Welcome to Ben's Bench, where stories are told, friends are made, you order hot dogs because the game is slow. The bench is where team camaraderie comes out. You know, take it from basketball. I'll tell you a story. We used to
Remember when?
Remember when?
Remember when?
We had a team that was very senior laden, aka there was only 6 players that were really good on our team. But we called ourselves the bench mob.
Okay.
And we would have different, you know, things for.
Was Kendrick on your team?
Kendrick was on my team.
You go state?
6-man, yeah, we won state. So, you know, there are things where we do like little sweepers, and then, you know, we pray, and then. What I'm getting at is the bench is where, you know, like I said, friends are made, things are traditions. One thing that we saw during the playoffs this year for the Nats, and the bench could be anything. It could be soccer, it could be baseball, it could be basketball, it could be football. But why don't I get into some home run trots?
Yeah.
When they come back to the bench, and then we'll do my favorite celebration.
Okay.
And then maybe we'll have a little heart-to-heart.
Sure.
Okay.
Let's see it.
So
What home run shot are you going to lead with?
I'm going to lead with a little Sammy.
From the Cubs?
Yeah, so Sammy's a very high kicker.
Do I need to move from the bench?
No, you're fine.
Am I the catcher?
Sure, you can do it. Clocks, and then he does one of these. He comes back around, comes to the bench. One of those. And then you get Mr. McGuire here. And it was like a toothpick.
Oakland A's.
He would floss his teeth, drop the bat, come around.
Bash Brothers.
And where's his brother?
Mike Canseco.
Your Canseco. The bench is also where, you have things like Gatorade, you have things like seeds, but it's also where, you probably after a home run have some of your more celebratory type stuff.
Yeah. But everyone's seen the bench play a big role, like with the Nats.
Yeah.
Substitution, late inning games. The Warriors, for a long time, it was strength in numbers. It's about the bench. The starters can't do it all the time. There's injuries. There's long seasons. You need the bench.
If you're on the bench, you're not out of the game.
No.
Sometimes you're looking to get in the game. Sometimes you're wondering, who's that lady out there? She looks mighty nice. But we'll end Ben's Bench segment here. I'm going to give you the best playoff baseball celebration on the bench.
Okay.
Can you go with me?
Yeah.
Howie Kendrick
Okay.
comes up. Old Howie. Clocks a home run. Is it fair? It hits the foul pole and he comes back. Now you gotta get in with me. Nope. And that's the NASCAR.
It was with Eden.
That was with
Yeah.
Eden.
I like
And
it.
that's Ben's Bench. First volume. Might have a lot of outtakes, but we'll come back with more applicable content and probably a little bit better in version 2.
Let's wrap this show up.
All right. Are you done with your Guinness?
Yeah, I kicked it all over the floor.
That's one way to do it.
My headphones are like all sticky.
Do we want to thank our sponsors?
Yes.
Pampers, Uncle Jimmy's bedding, and then we also had Pepto-Bismol. It works fast.
Yeah. And carpet cleaner because we got a little mess over here.
We also got some pizza over there.
Yes.
I think overall, you got your Spain, you got your London, you got your Poland.
Yeah. We got a big trip coming up. We got a lot of fans over in Europe. And not a lot here in the States.
Big Ben and Kay win. WST.
Whoa. Tell them where they can find us online.
That's what I was getting towards.
Okay.
WST_podcast. If you're watching on our YouTube live channel, continue to watch. We'll have these clips chopped up. If you're watching on Instagram Live, continue to follow us, comment. We're going to get back to our old ways.
Yes.
We've missed it. Remember when?
While you're sleeping,
Bold predictions.
let's get back to it.
Coming back at you. Big Ben and K win. WST_podcast. Boom.
Boom.
7:59.